What's up guys, it's Zerodomai Kitsune with another Fox Guide Fallout mods. As always, time codes to the individual mods will be right here. Now before we get going, I'd like to say, please, if any of these mods you actually like, please leave an endorsement. A lot of times I choose a mod for these videos that maybe has under 300 or 400 endorsements because I think that's where they should be, but they aren't. I'm not perfect. I forget to endorse things all the time since I download through Mod Organizer, but I don't know. If you like them, endorse them. That's all I gotta say. On to the video. So, Squirrel Bits don't actually have an enemy type that they originate from. Let's correct that. Squirrels of the Commonwealth by Eskanonen adds in a variety of squirrel enemies to the game Fallout 4, giving you, a way to get those squirrel bits in a lore-friendly manner. We are going to jump in there, and I'm just going to let myself die so you can see how much damage these deal. See, it's not too much. Let me stand still because for some reason Fallout 4's AI has a problem dealing with moving enemies, which kind of sucks when you have fast-paced enemies because they're not nearly as hard as they should be. But yeah, they deal decent damage. I'm a level 10 character and the actual squirrels are, I think, around level 17. Come on. There we go. Sadly, they're almost always level 17. So you do kind of scale past them. Though they do progressively get stronger with different types, so the albino, is stronger than a regular one. Where is it? The pup. There it is. The pup's the weakest. Now, garbage squirrels are interesting because most of these squirrels spawn in, woodland environments or places with large amounts of trash can, but the garbage squirrel actually spawns in urban environments, so you'll see them in towns and stuff. Here we are in Fiddler's Green, a good place to see them in action. And the first thing you'll probably notice is that they're fighting against ghouls. As with other types of enemies, there is no loyalty between thieves or whatever the fuck you say. So they'll end up fighting the enemies just like you would. Here we are, we got some regular squirrels and I think we have a glowing one? Yeah. They're best dealt with through that since they're really, really fast and pretty hard to hit otherwise. Yeah, the final type are the suicide squirrels, taking more from the super mutants. You can see they're very careful. The squirrels are actually quite passive, so unless you interfere in the area or shoot near them, they're not really going to charge you. But when these do, they explode. Killing raiders is fairly boring in this game at some point, but sometimes it's the simple mods that make it more fun. Enemy Death Wilhelm Scream by Knight Hansen makes a small change to the sound effect that happens whenever you kill a raider. Beautiful. I'm surprised that Fallout 4 didn't already have something like this, because Fallout 4, while it tries to straddle the line between serious and goofy, and this is very goofy. Not much else to say, so we'll move on. Fallout 4 has a lot of dark humor, and some of it is pop culture based, based in the real world. So I think this mod is pretty apt for something in Fallout. Gamsung Salaxy. Shut up! Gamsung Salaxy Explosives by Newton adds something. How do I explain this? The Samsung Galaxy was catching on fire and someone made a parody mod of it. It's pretty funny. Let's just go through the introduction portions of it. I won't spoil the whole thing. It's actually not that big, but let's go ahead and talk to this dude who you can find at the what's called diner.
Can you help me?
And yes, that's what he sounds like.
Hey there.
Please, can you help me?
What are you?
It is voiced by in-game stuff.
I'm a free war synth built by Noogle.
Wait, you're a synth?
Yes. but not the kind of synth you
His
usually
voice
find
and his
here.
look just
I
gets
was
me.
built before the war,
This is,
before the bombs hit.
that's funny. Oh, you do have a variety of options. Let's go sarcastic.
Great. You're completely nuts.
You don't believe me. Let me tell you the true story about synth.
The true
First of
story.
all, there was a huge tech company called Noogle. The main business was collecting data from humans. All
Oh my
kinds
god,
of
it actually
data,
went there.
Literally everything. At some
Damn.
point, they had so much data that they were able to build their own replications of humans.
You expect me to believe that?
Just think for yourself. Your company needs data from humans.
I like
But
the
humans are
way
annoying. They
this
won't just
dialogue's
give away the
going,
data for free.
but again, I don't want to
You
spoil
have
too much,
trick
so
them,
we're gonna skip
and that's
forward
the
so I can
problem.
show you the
But what
grenades.
if you could just, and with this data, and with this data, and with this data, and with this data,
I get it.
don't you want to hear the other
I'm leaving that in.
832?
So here you see we have the Gamsung Salaxy Note 7. That is weird to say. It's effectively a reskinned frag grenade. So, but we now need to kill 7 people with them. But I'm not gonna do that. I'm just gonna console this. So here is the S7, the base thing, which is essentially a frag grenade. Let me do that again so you can hear the dial tone noise. As for the upgraded version, it is a reskinned Nuka grenade. Bye bye. Oops. All in all, this mod isn't that special. The items it gives are basically reskinned versions of existing items, but it is a fun little quest and it does make me laugh. So I think that's all that's really important in the end.
I don't want to set the world on fire, honey. I just want to...
Quality retextures are a bit of a slow go in Fallout 4 compared to something as Skyrim, which has tons of mods that retexture specific areas, increasing the quality from native like -1K all the way up to 8K. But Fallout 4 has a bit of a problem with that. But this mod alleviates that when it comes to the Gauss rifle. Watzz electronic Gauss rifle by Dikr retextures the Gauss rifle and most of its accessories to make it look like it was done by the Watzz company in Fallout 4. Now, the mod itself has a pretty cool lore attached to it inside the mod page, but as for in-game, it's nothing but a texture file. As you can see here, this is what it looks like compared to base vanilla, just right inside the inventory screen. This is what it looks like simply in your hands in-game. As you can see, the texture work is a lot better. It just generally looks better, and I like the idea that instead of the weapon just kinda existing, and granted this could just be me not understanding the lore, but I like attaching the lore to a particular company inside the universe. And finally, let's use this baby in combat. Nothing special, it's some Gauss rifle action, 1 billion damage. You can see even the actual like little number counter, it's just a higher quality texture, and seeing the little cracks and scratches in the paint, it just looks really nice, especially when you get it in that perfect lighting. Fine texture, and hopefully maybe someone can do this for some of the other more eccentric weapons in Fallout 4. Oh hey, now that you made it to the end of one of my videos, perhaps think about subscribing, or maybe just sticking around and checking out another one of my videos. Either way, through the power of YouTube, we now have these fancy buttons on screen, so just click on one of those to go where you want to go. And just to reiterate what I've probably said in the video, I'll see you next time.